These are the waiver wire pickups for Week 8. Number 1 on the list is Hunter Henry. Drake May has seemed to breathe life back into this Patriots offense and into Henry. Over the last 2 weeks, Henry has seen 14 targets, corralling 11 of them for 133 yards and 1 touchdown. And quietly, he's the tight end 5 in PPR on the year. He's seen the most snaps of any New England pass catcher, and Drake May seems to be locked onto him. And as long as that's the case, he should continue to push for weekly tight end 1 production. I anticipate him being a big part of this offense regardless of game script, and he should be picked up in all formats. Number 2 on the list is Davante Wix. Wix has been pretty boomer bust all year, but I think at this point, he's worth rostering and hanging on to. This offense definitely has a lot of mouths to feed, but Wix has been pretty steadily involved, even if it hasn't always showed up in the box score. He finished today's game with 3 receptions for 48 yards and 1 touchdown, and over the last 4 weeks, he's seen 29 targets. It's pretty much going to be a revolving door behind Jayden Reed. It could be Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, or Wix. So if you're able to deal with some up and down scoring, I think he's worth taking a chance on. The Packers are the 7th highest scoring team in the league, and their defense has produced the most takeaways with 17. So they should see some added opportunities. Number 3 on the list is Jaylen Tolbert. Tolbert was widely dropped this week because the Cowboys were on bye, but I would really think about picking him up. He's quietly the WR27 on the year in PPR, averaging 12.6 points per game, and he has a pretty good matchup this week against the 49ers defense that has looked pretty vulnerable recently. He's only rostered in 20% of leagues, and with Brandon Cooks on IR, he should continue to operate as a number 2 receiver and the number 3 pass catching option behind CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. Number 4 on the list is Zach Ertz. While he's not the player he was in Philadelphia or even in Arizona, he has been a steady part of this offense, and he's seen a nice uptick in his production over the last 2 weeks, where he's caught 8 passes for 108 yards and 1 touchdown. He's quietly the tight end 8 in PPR on the year, averaging 8.5 points per game, and he seems to be settling in as that safety valve for Jaden McDaniels. With the Commanders boasting the highest scoring offense in the league, I like his chances to produce more often than not. Number 5 on the list is Jaylen Warren. Warren's already rostered in 41% of leagues, but if he is somehow available in yours, I would strongly consider picking him up. He started the year off slow, and then he dealt with a knee injury, which cost him weeks 4 and 5, but he seems to be getting healthy and settling into a groove. He finished today with 14 touches for 59 yards, and he seems to be the firm number 2 behind Najee Harris, and should continue to have a lock on the 3rd down role and all pass catching situations. He's also solid in pass protection, which should earn him some extra snaps, and with Russell Wilson taking over the starting job, he should have a decent floor in deep PPR leagues moving forward. Number 6 on the list is Ricky Pearsall. The first-round rookie made his debut today. He was initially expected to be eased in, but with Deebo Samuel leaving the game early with an illness, and then Brandon Ayuk suffering what seems to be a season-ending injury, he was thrust into a larger role. He finished the day with 3 receptions for 21 yards, and he was 3rd on the team in targets with 5, and with Ayuk potentially suffering a torn ACL, he should definitely see his role expand. He's only rostered in 13% of leagues, and he's kind of a speculative add, but given his first-round pedigree, my hunch is he'll be involved sooner rather than later. Number 7 on the list is another 49er, Jennings. Jennings missed today's game with a hip injury, but there's optimism that he'll be back for Week 8 showdown against the Cowboys. He's definitely proven that he's capable of stepping up when the 49ers are down playmakers. Now, I don't think he's going to replicate his Week 3 11 reception, 175-yard, 3-touchdown performance again, but he does have some solid rapport with Brock Purdy and should have a somewhat stable floor in PPR moving forward. Number 8 on the list is Ray Davis. Davis hasn't quite taken hold of the number 2 job behind James Cook just yet, but it seems like he's trending that way. He took full advantage of his opportunity last week when Cook was out, turning his 23 touches into 152 yards. He did see his workload decrease substantially this week, only seeing 6 touches, but he was very efficient with them, going for 47 yards and scoring a touchdown. I think at the very least, he's earned himself some touches moving forward on a weekly basis. Now, how many touches and how efficient he is with them remains to be seen, but I think if you have an open bench spot, he's worth stashing as a very good handcuff that should have some weekly value. Number 9 on the list is Tyler Goodson. Goodson has seemed to have overtaken Trey Sermon in the pecking order. Over the last 3 weeks, he has 34 touches for 173 yards and 1 touchdown. And with Jonathan Taylor still on the shelf with a high ankle sprain, he should continue to push for RB3/flex value in PPR. Having said that, once Taylor does return to the lineup, I would imagine his role will shrink substantially, but he still may be worth hanging on to in the event that the Colts decide to lessen Taylor's workload. Number 10 on the list is actually a pair of pass catchers from Cleveland, Cedric Tilman and Elijah Moore. It's tough to say which one will be a better pickup because the quarterback situation in Cleveland is a complete mess. Deshaun Watson is now lost for the year with a torn Achilles, and backup Dorian Thompson-Robinson left the game with a finger injury. So Jameis Winston may be the starter moving forward. Tilman caught 8 balls for 81 yards and a 2-point conversion, and Moore caught 6 passes for 41 yards. Between them, they saw 19 targets, which is actually a bit odd given that the Browns traded Amari Cooper this week. It was expected that Jerry Jeudy would slide into the number 1 role, but that did not appear to be the case. Both Tilman and Moore are speculative adds in much deeper leagues, but honestly, I would wait another week to see how things shake out with the quarterback situation before making any moves. Those are the waiver wire pickups for week 8. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know which players you think we should pick up in the comments below.